Chig and his horrendous timekeeping has started on time. What do you know? What up, people? Sorry, I just realised my microphone's not in place. There you go. Can you hear me better now? There you go. What up, people? Look at me setting this thing up. What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eager Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is the preview where Arsenal, yes, Arsenal, play Frankfurt. I'm going to call them Frankfurt because I'm going to butcher the first part of their name. At home in the Emirates in the Europa League. This is a game that not many of us are looking forward to. I can almost promise you that no one is particularly talking about the game. Everyone's looking about the circumstances of the game. And in spite of all the rumours in the last 48 to 72 hours, unbelievably, Unai Emery is still the Arsenal manager and he is taking charge of this game. Incredible. Only at Arsenal does this kind of crap happen. Only at Arsenal. I don't even know how to address this or how to go about this. It's weird where the game is not even a focus or a care. I've seen so many people talk about how they hope that Arsenal lose this game. I can't. Even now, I can't. I can't hope Arsenal lose a game. Because here's the other thing that people forget when they talk about, oh, I hope Arsenal loses this game. Every time you say that, the thing that you hope happens doesn't happen. So now you've just hoped Arsenal lose a game for no reason. And to me, it's not in my makeup. It's not in my makeup for Arsenal to hope Arsenal loses a game. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. What's all this Lisa fraud stuff? Oh my gosh. I'm laughing because I kind of probably sort of know what that's about, but okay. Oh shit. Anyway, let's go on. Let's talk about the game. Now, I know a few people that have texted me today saying, am I going to the game? No. I'm going to that game. Again, I would not struggle to get tickets. I'm pretty sure I could get tickets pretty easily for the game. No. Probably be doing the watch along with Lee as per normal tomorrow. And for me, I'm not supporting this situation. You know, we've got a coach. To be honest, and I'm going to be real with you guys, I don't hate Emery. I don't. You know, some people might say, oh, well, why hasn't he resigned? Would you resign from your job? Like, what are you talking about here? Like, I've heard people say, well, if you had any pride about him, you'd resign. Really? So if you are struggling at work and your bosses hopes you go, would you just make it easier for them and resign? No, you want to be paid to go. And you know, so fair, I don't really have any particular issue with Emery as such. He's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. He's not good enough. He's not killed anybody. I see lots of people ridiculing him and the way he speaks and his language and this good evening stuff, which initially started as a cute quib. Now people are using it almost to ridicule the man. I don't co-sign that. I'm not down with this hint of racism because you want to get rid of the man. No. For me, I have no issue with the man. By all intents and purposes, he seems like a good guy. And you know, and a lot of part of me does respect him in a sense because, you know, he is a man who at least has tried to speak the language. You know, you look at someone like the Leeds manager still doesn't speak English. He still has that little Tweedledum next to him that tries to interpret for him. And then you look at, I'm trying to think of other cases. Poch, the great Poch that all of a sudden Arsenal fans want. For a year at Southampton, my man refused to speak English. You know, all right, Emery doesn't do it well. He's clearly confusing the players. But I'm not going to knock the man and start ridiculing the man unnecessarily. For me, I think it's out of order. And like Ryan just said in the chat room, my issue is with the board. Because why is it whenever it comes to them needing to make a key decision, it's always an extended process. There's always that extra hurdle that they need to cross in order to get there. Any other situation, this would have been done. Would have been done. And either Freddie would be taking charge or they would have got their target by now, approached their target from the international break. This is why no one can understand why they didn't fire him in the international break. Because what you do is fire him in the international break, then go and approach Nuno. If that's Nuno's who you want, you're going to approach Nuno properly while he also doesn't have a game. And then this would have been sorted. Now you're in a situation where, as per usual, you look amateur hour. That's what pisses Arsenal fans so much. Yes, we're vocal. Most of us are unreasonable. But and there's very few subjects all Arsenal fans agree on. When 99% of Arsenal fans agree the manager should bounce, you know there's a problem. You know there's a problem. So to me, I'm just at the point now with Arsenal. I almost don't. The game, unfortunately, is almost a side issue. It's just, in some ways, it's can we be so crap that we lose at home or don't win at home to Frankfurt in a competition that Emre is supposed to be a specialist at. In a lot of ways, but like I said at the very start of this, to me, I have nothing really against Emre. It's just not good enough. It is what it is. In a lot of ways, I hope he goes back to Spain, not in some kind of racist thing, but let's be real here. That's your language. Go and communicate comfortably in your language in Spain. Go and rebuild your reputation, and then we can move on to the next manager who gets it. You know, and by the way, before I actually focus on the game, because like I said, there ain't really a lot to talk about with regards to the game itself. Let me one other thing, Arsenal fans. Please don't think you're so bad that you're above Nuno being appointed. I'm seeing people coming out with, oh, well, you know, when Nuno steps up to a big team, he don't do too well. And so, what has he done in the Premier League? Oh, what? You mean he's transferred Wolves and he's made them into a top 5 team? Oh, okay. So what's the problem? What is the problem? I don't get it. To me, this snobbery is what caused us Brendan Rodgers in the first place. That's what caused us. And I'll hold my hands up. I was guilty with that as well. Because I was also the one that sat here and was saying, oh, I don't know about Brendan still. You know, being a Celtic and this, that, and the other. And now I realize, actually, that was exactly who we needed. We've let that go. Now we have potentially, I'm not saying he's necessarily going to be Brendan Rodgers, but at least the man is a manager. He's had managerial experience. He's got the best out of his team. He has his team well organized. To me, that's enough. I'm not saying the man's going to change the world or set the world alight, but let's at least give him a chance if that's who we've identified to take over. All this, oh, well, why don't we get a superstar in because a superstar would excite me? Who gives a rat's ass if you're excited? I don't care. I don't really give a damn about being excited. I just want to pick someone that can do the job. I'm being excited. So, yeah, I just want to say that because if Nuno, I don't know when Nuno's supposed to be appointed because we've got a game on Sunday as well. And we've seen how notoriously slow this board are. So who knows what's happening. But for me, if Nuno, I mean, some interesting quotes came out today. You know, Nuno said he refused to make any comments while there's a manager still on board. The man typifies class. So I can understand that. Not a problem. I told you yesterday, I like the way he carries himself. You know, Emre himself came out and said, listen, my future is today and tomorrow, which he himself, that seems like a man who, one of two things. I was talking to Lee about this earlier on WhatsApp. He seems to think maybe he's been told something. I disagree. I actually think it's the complete opposite. And he's not been told anything. His future's not been clarified or anything. He's been completely left in the dark. while the board are doing whatever it is they are apparently doing. And that's why he said that. So I think it's kind of a case of watch this space. In the meantime, we just have to get on with the game. And in a lot of ways, it's completely unfair on Emery. I don't know how, if his job is in trouble, how the heck is he supposed to get up and motivate his players? Don't get me wrong. For the last few weeks, he's been playing like he knows his job is going anyway, or he's been coaching these players like he knows his job is not safe anyway. But I just don't understand how, with everything up in the air like this, why not just leave it to Freddie? Why not leave it to Freddie? And that's part of what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Emery takes a backseat and lets Freddie just do his thing. Let him do his thing, take control of the team in the meantime. And that is going to reflect in the team I pick. I'm not going to do the starting 11 stuff because my man was, there was someone in the chat room that was already bitching about me being late, even though I didn't specify the time I was coming on. So I didn't want to take any extra length of time than I needed to. So rather than do a starting 11, I'm just going to tell you, old schools are, I'm not going to tell you who I roll out. Now, I know we have a certain amount of injuries, so hopefully that will be reflected in the team I put out. In goal, I'm going to put Martinez. I'll be honest, I think this goalkeeper situation is one we've got to look at in the summer. I'm not against looking at it in January, but who knows what with this board. Let's just ride it out until the summer. I've just decided I don't think either of these two are good enough. But let's just ride this Martinez thing out. He's at least a better distributor than Leno is. So Martinez in goal. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Chambers. Bellerin's injured. He's got a hamstring injury, apparently. So Chambers, as much as I hate him playing there, he at least does a better job than Ainsley Maitland-Niles there. So I'm going to play Chambers there. In the middle, I'm going with Holding and I'm going with Mustafi. Yep, Mustafi gets a recall. Purely on the basis that playing Mustafi once a month seems to work for him. Because he seems to turn in a decent performance when he does it like that. So for me, I'm just going to play these two and just see what happens. For Rob Holding, I'm setting him a challenge. He needs to get better. And I'm expecting to see an improvement in his performance in this game. Left back, I'm playing Kieran Tierney. It's not like he's had a lot of football. And Kolasank's injured. So that's why he plays in this game. In the middle, there is a question of recalling Granit Xhaka. For me personally, because these are my teams, Granit Xhaka has no future at this club. So for me personally, and people would disagree with what I'm going to say, I've debated this and debated this and debated this. I'm going to go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Next to him, I'm going to go with Joe Willock. They're best friends, and I think playing Ainsley in his position, we could say a big performance from him. Could. Hopefully. Maybe. Let's see. So I'm going with Joe Willock and going with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I know people would disagree. I know. This is my 11. Right? Just ahead of him, I debated this as well. I'm going to go with Reece Nelson as a number 10. Just ahead of him. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. On the left-hand side, I'm going with Saka. And up top, I'm going with Martinelli. Who knows if that team will lose, if that team will win. Who knows? This is it's difficult to judge it because we're talking about an Arsenal side that struggled to get a draw at home to a team that lost 9-0 a couple of weeks ago. So it's difficult. It really is difficult to know what Arsenal will show up. But reluctantly, I am going to go with an Arsenal win, just 2-1. Purely on the basis that in the Europa League, they don't press the way they do in the Premier League. So maybe that might suit us. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Please leave it in the comments below if you're watching us on the playback. It is 10:46 now. Let's do 5 more minutes of Q&As. 5 more minutes, and I'll leave you guys to your Wednesday evening. I hear you, Iffy. We want our Arsenal back, indeed. Got to pin that one. Please do crush that like button as well. 67 people watching. I know how late it is, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Boycott Cronky. Do you think the Wolves manager is any good to take? I'm not sure I want to think about it. I think there is a risk. Sorry, my microphone is playing some Tell me that's not been off the entire time. Tell me that's not been off the entire time. Oh, motherfucker. Shit. Gosh damn. Fuck, you know what? Fuck you all, because you could have told me a lot sooner. Fuck you all, because you could have told me much, much sooner about lip reading and shit. Fuck. Damn it. Chig will end the stream before he realizes, man, I was clean with him. Fuck's sake, fuck's sake, fuck's sake. And you know how I did that? The damn thing falls, right? So I've got like a filter for the mic. So every now and again, for some reason, the filter's loose. And the pop filter, by the way, for technical people know what I mean, right? So sometimes it's loose. So it falls forward. And then when it falls forward, when I'm trying to correct it, the fucking mute volume is right there in front of me. So by the time I rearrange it and shit, I won't know there's no sound because I always go back to the beginning and start reading comments left, right, and center. So I was reading all fucking Emily's comment, Joanne's comment, Ryan's comment, Matt's comment. And I was thinking to myself, hold on, let's talk about Shaka. Let me go all the way down. And the first one I saw was Brian Arsenal, because I trust him. He goes, sound Chig. Then I saw Ben go, silent Chig all day. Then I saw someone else say, maybe we can lip read. Fuck! Anyway, now you know. Gosh damn. Don't even try it. I can see I'm not in the mood again. What part did you hear? Did you at least hear the damn preview? Did you hear all of the preview at least? It went off when you started answering the chat questions. All right, my guy Joel. Right. Let's go back onto the fucking questions at least. Shit. That's why I need a producer right here. This kind of bullshit. That's why I need a producer. So, yeah, I bet Vladimir is loving that. Look at him laughing away. I see you, brother. I see you. No sound, bro. Chig sound. This is why I need VP, because VP would have instant me and told me, Emily, you should have texted me to tell me. No, you didn't tell me nothing, but we told you. You didn't tell me nothing. I was still reading the old messages. Oh, okay, VP did tell me. VP clean instantly as well. Shout out to VP. VP clean told me. I ain't even seen him in the chat. Oh, all right. I will do 5 minutes more just for the sake of it. Flipping heck. Shit. Amateur hour. You answered my questions on Nuno in big games. Yes, for me, yeah, me and Matt don't agree on a lot, but I think that's a great point. I think he does rise to the occasion in big games. And one thing we've missed out probably in the last 4 years, 5 years, is rising to big games, being unpredictable in big games. And potentially Nuno can bring that to us. For me, people are saying they're not excited by him. Actually, for me, I like the unknown factor in him. And I like what he could potentially bring. I don't know about 10 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes. I'm sick of people laughing at me and shit. Oh, damn mic button. I'm going to turn my flipping microphone around next time. It was quite funny, to be fair. So not a complete waste of time. Yeah, apart from if you're watching this on the playback. Maybe mic might not work when you say Xhaka. Do you know what I mean? Say Xhaka, the mic goes off. You said mic and then it cut off. Yeah, that was when I was adjusting it. So yeah, it must have been then. It must have been then. What were my thoughts on Ancelotti? Yeah, for me, not for me. 18 months ago, yes. But not for me. Not for me. And you know it's pretty telling because Lee was proper on getting Ancelotti 18 months ago. And even he doesn't want him anymore. No, Emily, you should have told me. You gotta text me. You gotta WhatsApp me. So you should have definitely told me. Look at Mortimer. Yeah. Can't see us winning tomorrow. The team are low. They don't take any notice of Emery. That's why I'm tempted just to roll out the kids. I mean, the kids are happy enough. They've got a manager in Steve Bold. Why not just play them? It can't be any worse. It's such a horrible situation to be in. But because, and this is where we could have needed someone like David O'Leary in the back room advising on these lot. Because it's clear that none of these guys, even Raul, who's supposed to be the footballing guy, and Eddie, who's supposed to be the footballing guy, they haven't got a clue. Imagine, they look so amateur hourish. They look worse than me with this mic. This whole situation is just, it's just so Arsenal. It's so Arsenal. Chig, you got to do a decade best 11. Well, Archie, funny you should say that. I'm going to hang on to that. But I've got plans. I've got plans that more than just the first 11. I'm going to do a special Chig Knows Best on strikers, best ever decade 11 for Arsenal, midfielders, best ever 5 best midfielders for Arsenal this decade, defenders. I got plans, brother. This ain't my first rodeo, my guy. This ain't my first rodeo. He's won the Lockheed Premier League with Chelsea. Yeah, a long time ago. I mean, Matt, let me put it to you this way, brother. It's like somebody it's like a United fan. Would you advise United to get Arsene Wenger? You could spit the same bars. Oh, he's won 3 Premier Leagues with Arsenal, and you know he's taken them into the Champions League X amount of times, and this, that, and the other. Sometimes managers have the sell-by date. You know, Ancelotti was a great manager. I just don't think he has it anymore. Arteta's the worst captain of our history. It's hard to argue. I don't know, Koscielny. Me, pips it. Yeah, Koscielny, buddy, and pips it. Just make sure the mic, this microphone mic thing, muted thing, is going to last for some time. I can see it with you lot. Do you think Nuno would leave Wolves? He loves the Portuguese players there. Well, that's the hope, isn't it, Joel? That he brings some of them to Arsenal, particularly Neves. I would swap Neves in a heartbeat for Granit Xhaka. In a heartbeat. Oh my gosh. In a heartbeat. It's Arsenal he would run. Xhaka is better than Arteta ever was. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to put that on Twitter. That's a very good question. Very good question. I'm going to put that on Twitter. I'm very curious to see who was the who people think was better out of Arteta, or because to me, I don't care what anyone says. I would still say it all day long. Before Arteta came to Arsenal, he was a good player. I don't care what anyone tells me. He was a good player before Arsenal. And then I'm not really sure what happened. Doherty with him too. You could pick any of their team. Any of their team. You know, Connor Cody, you know, Doherty. Brother, I ain't gonna lie to you. Me and Matt have just made up, so I didn't want to argue. I'm with you, Archie. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. I'll be real. Straight up. Craps all over Granit Xhaka. Me too. And you know what, Joanne? I bet he does come back as some sort of coach or something. Me too. And I'll be all for it. I'll be all for it. I have no issue with that. Not as head coach. Let's not get it carried away. I'm with you. I'm with you, M. Yazdani. I'm with you. So let's get some predictions ahead of tomorrow night. Let's bring the focus back. Give me some predictions ahead of tomorrow night. What are you thinking? We lose 1-1, or maybe draw 1-1, and Emre gets sacked, probably. My prediction for tomorrow. Oh, you missed my team, brother. You missed my team. I haven't put the formation on, but it's Martinez, Chambers, Holding, Mustafi, Tierney. In the middle is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Willock. Yep. I'm giving Ainsley Maitland-Niles a chance in his position. Just ahead, I've gone with Nelson. It was a close call between Emil Smith-Rowe and Nelson. I went with Nelson. On the right, I've gone with Pepe. Left, I've gone with Saka. Up top, I've gone with Martinez. I'm going with 2-1. Yeah, Martinez brace. I like the sound of that. I can see why you say that, Ben, because I do think John Moutinho is very good. I don't think he's better than Neves, but I do think he's good. He's like 32 though. But to be honest, I'd have him over Granit Xhaka. Some predictions. Have I seen Santu's son play? Bless him. Of course. He's like 2 years old, but yeah, of course. Of course. I've even forgotten we're playing tomorrow. I know it doesn't even feel like we've got a game on tomorrow. RVP or Laka. I know Matt's going to come with some left wing one that way. All right, guys. I've done some overtime. So apologies for the mic situation. I'm going to put a little pin comment just to let people know that that's happened and I'm a donut. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'll be back here tomorrow, as per usual, with Lee doing the player ratings and review for the game. Not even really sure what I'm hoping for at the moment. I will never hope Arsenal lose, but I'm hoping for a thorough end to this situation. Put this man out of his misery and relieve him of his duties. I don't bask any pleasure of seeing any man losing their job. I don't want to put bad energy or juju on myself. For me, I'm not built that way. But I think in terms of the bigger picture, we need to sort this situation out. The job's too big for him. I don't have anything against him personally. He seems like a nice guy by all intents and purposes. I credit him for speaking a language that he is more likely to pick up English than I am to pick up Spanish. That's for damn sure. So I'll never crap on him for attempting to speak English. But ultimately, I think that's one of his biggest downfalls in this job. He can't communicate clearly instructions to his players. The job is too big for him. He goes back to Spain, does his thing. We move on, whether it's Nuno, whether it's Allegri, whether it's Freddie. I hope it's not Arteta, but we move on and hopefully do something big for this team. That's my thoughts. That's my piece. You guys have also your piece. Please do stick a like on this video before you go. Don't just disappear. It helps me. It helps the show. So do everything you can to help it. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll be back tomorrow. You know how we do. I'm out of here, people. Take care. Sorry about this thing again. Peace.